Good morning, all. Welcome to the Tuesday, November 15th, 2022, 9 a.m. meeting of the Los Angeles Unified School District Board of Education. The time is now 9:05. I will take roll. Dr. McKenna.
Here.
Ms. Garcia. Mr. Schmerelson.
Present.
Mr. Melvoin.
Here.
Ms. Goldberg.
Here.
Ms. Ortiz-Franklin. Ms. Gomez. Okay, we have a quorum of 4.
Thank you, Mr. McLean. We will begin with public comment for our closed session meeting as others join us momentarily.
Here we go for public comment on tab 1. Actually, I'm going to read the purpose and authority first, so the folks know exactly what they're commenting on. So the closed session items, tab 1, student discipline matters under Education Code 48918. Tab 2, personnel under Government Code Section 54957. Tab 3, conference with legal counsel pending litigation under Government Code Section 54956.9. Tab 4, conference with labor negotiators under Government Code Section 54957.6. The negotiators are Dr. Murphy and Mr. DeGrazia, and the employee organizations are Associated Administrators of Los Angeles, California School Employees Association, Los Angeles County Building and Construction Trades Council, Los Angeles School Police Association, School Police Management Union, Service Employees International Union, SEIU Local 99, Teamsters, United Teachers Los Angeles, District Represented Employees, and Contract Management Personnel. And further, negotiator Devora Navarra-Reed will be under unrepresented employees, Chief Academic Officer, Chief of School Operations, Deputy Superintendent, Business Services and Operations, Chief Medical Director, Executive Director, Adult and Career Education, Chief of Staff, Executive Director, Office of Data and Accountability, Regional Superintendent. With that, we're going to go into the public comment, and on item number 1, tab 1, Rosemary Zayas. Are you on the line? Rosemary Zayas. Okay, you're not on the line, Rosemary. Let's see. I believe we have another caller under tab 2. One moment, please. Well, the tab 2 caller, looking for your name. You just have to give me a second since we don't have you just yet. Dora Vasquez, are you on the line? Dora Vasquez, if you're on the line, press star 6 to unmute yourself, and you have 3 minutes to speak once you begin. Dora Vasquez. Dora Vasquez, oprime estrellita 6 para hablar y tienes 3 minutos para hablar adelante. Gracias.
Buenos días, ¿me escuchan?
Sí, se escucha.
Buenos días.
Good morning. Good morning to the board members, Mr. Superintendent Carvalho. My name is Dora Vasquez, and I am a parent of a student that goes to LUSD schools. My comment for today is in regards to the accelerated days, 19th and the 20th of December. I'm worried that you are not giving us an option or to leave any comments or be more collaborative with the teachers and the district. We want to know, you don't want to know what opinion we have. You're just giving us a yes or a no to answer. And we hope that you can add those days to the calendars instead of having them as vacation days. I believe that we've all been affected through the pandemic, and I believe you should reconsider that. And I'm in favor for acceleration days for our children. And we know that children have been affected. And we would like for you to talk in regards to this matter in more detail. And we would like for you to speak to the parents. We'd like to collaborate with you as well. And we want you to pay attention to these days. Mr. Superintendent Carvalho, you're doing a lot to make this happen and to be able to help children. But I believe that the union and the teachers are not being very collaborative. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now on to general public.
All right, we'll address it after. Thank you.
Okay, under public comment number 1, Robina Sewell, are you on the line? Robina Sewell, if you're on the line, press *6 to unmute yourself, and you have 3 minutes to speak once you begin. Thank you. Ms. Sewell, if you're on the line, press *6 to unmute yourself, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak once you begin.
Hi, can you hear me?
We sure can. You have 3 minutes. Thank
morning.
you.
Thank you. My name is Robina Sewell. I'm the Executive Director of California Safe Schools, and I'm the Los Angeles Environmental Justice Network Co-Coordinator and Environmental Representative on the district's Integrated Pest Management Oversight Committee. I am speaking to you today as an individual and not on behalf of the committee. The Oversight Committee serves as an independent body of the district with staff, parents, scientists, and environmental advocates that review plans and actions by the district's Maintenance and Operations Division to make sure that they comply with the district's IPM policy and state law. And I'm here today because I believe that the board has been misinformed about issues facing the IPM committee. First, please just let me note that it's district staff that notices, organizes, and runs all committee meetings. If there's been any legal error with how staff has proceeded, there's no need to establish an ad hoc subcommittee of the board to fix it. Rather, district council could just suggest corrective actions for staff. And as a longstanding member of the IPM committee, I can say with certainty that I would be more than happy to comply with any and all.
Ms. Sewell, it sounds like you've dropped off. If you can hear me, please continue giving comment. If you
I
can.
I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you. As an independent IPM committee, it's critical to the success of the policy to continue the work that they're doing and to oversee the implementation of the policy without any further interference or efforts to weaken the mechanisms that protect the very independence, diversity, and impartiality of its important oversight role. Just if the board can please review the information contained in the IG's audit, indicating that maintenance and operations staff has egregiously violated the district's policy and that of the California State Healthy Schools Act. And that so the board is fully informed of these issues, which include violations such as the purchase and application of agricultural pesticides on school grounds. Please schedule a joint session with the IPM committee members to get a clearer picture of the committee's concerns. And as I've said numerous times, our children have no vote, they have no lobbyists, they have no war chest. They depend on all of us to protect them. Please help us in doing just that. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time. Let's see. In person, we have Lynn Domond. So I note that all 3 of you are signed up under this one item, but remember you only get 3 minutes, so, all right, awesome. Go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Ooh, and speak a little bit more into the mic so that we
Sorry.
can.
Good morning. My name's Corinne Harrell, and we are here on behalf of the University of Southern California, and we're currently receiving our master's in social work. We're here today because as former LAUSD students, we're very passionate about advocating and raising awareness for mental health and substance use. And as an intern at an LAUSD school, I see the rise in the need for more resources and, yeah. So to really highlight the problem, according to the CDC, over 37% of high schoolers have been affected by poor mental health during the pandemic, and 44% have reported feelings of depression and helplessness, and unfortunately only 1 in 5 students will receive the help that they need. In 2020, the rate of overdose deaths in California for people ages 15 to 19 increased at a rate of over 179%. And in the first 4 months of 2022, DEA Los Angeles seized approximately 1.5 million pills containing fentanyl. This really highlights the problem that students don't have readily available resources and information regarding harm reduction and mental health services. Usually they're unsure of how to seek help and they're misinformed. Because of the pandemic, there's now a large need for mental health resources, and there's not enough staff to address student needs.
And so to address this, we propose increasing harm reduction awareness in the schools by offering education for staff related to overdose response, Narcan, CPR training, and just general sensitivity training around substance use so that individuals and students feel comfortable disclosing any use. And then we think that there is a need for revamping assessment methods, so getting adopting a heads-up checkup model, and just kind of revamping the mental health assessments that you can better assess the frequency of services needed, and then kind of discuss reallocating funds related to mental health for students.
Thank you so much for listening to us, and we would like to continue to collaborate because we're really passionate about this, and we would like students to get the help that they need. Thank you.
I'd like to ask them a question, if I might. When you get your master's, are you planning to come to work for us?
Yes.
I think
All right, I
Corinne
just wanted to
might.
be sure about that, because we're short and we need you.
We would love to.
All right,
Yes.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Verenice Miron, are you on the line? Verenice, if you are, press *6 to unmute yourself, and you have 3 minutes to speak once you begin. Verenice?
Hello, good morning, board members. Before I begin to express my concerns, I want to restate something that a young man mentioned in a previous board meeting. And he said, "I'm not here to call you out, I'm here to call you in." And I want to say that because I want to commend you all for the comments that you made at the previous board meeting in regards to the acceleration days and the unfortunate circumstance because of lack of support from those that are going to be providing these services. Those were not able to be provided during the set dates. And I want to specifically say about Mr. Board Member McKenna. You mentioned about not being afraid to speak up. So my comment is in regards to the Division of Special Education. We continue to see that a lot of students are not being provided the compensatory services that they need in order to receive a FAPE. I believe it's more widespread than just a couple of families here and there. I did speak up about this during the Special Education Committee. So I am requesting and encouraging for the board to survey parents to find out from those that have had IEP meetings if this is a topic of conversation and if their students are receiving these services. Because I can tell you from a parent being with a child with an IEP, our students' rights are constantly being violated. And this is discouraging. It's bad faith that we have to continue to advocate for our students as much as we do, because we are the only group of parents that have to sue the school district in order for our students to receive the appropriate special education services that they need. So with that, I encourage you to be curious when Division of Special Education is coming into to the board and saying that these services are being provided, these parents are really happy. Reach out to your families. Reach out to your families and verify that this is correct, because I can tell you that I don't feel supported. My child is not being appropriately supported, and I believe that this is happening to more families. So with that, I know that the latest slogan is "We're preparing children for the world." Well, our students with disabilities deserve and need to be ready for the world as well. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Robert R. Garcia, are you on the line? Robert R. Garcia. Okay, you're not there. Gloria Samoski, are you on the line? Gloria, are you on the line? Nope. Sarah Megan Heller, are you on the line? If you are, press star 6 to unmute yourself, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak once you begin. Sarah Megan Heller.
Hello, I'm here. Can you hear me?
We sure can. You have 3
Hello?
minutes, Megan.
Great. Hi. My name is Dr. Sarah Megan Heller. I'm a parent of 2 children in LAUSD schools, and I'm speaking in opposition to the proposal to build an elementary school at 15526 Plummer Street, which is around the corner from my son's elementary school. Bright Star Schools, a charter school company with 9 schools in LA, is planning to purchase a historic home on Plummer Street and move one of their schools, Valor Academy, to North Hills, where there are already 3 Bright Star schools. However, a 60-member community group named the North Hills Preservation Consortium has a competing plan for the property on Plummer Street. They want to transform the property into a museum dedicated to San Fernando's agricultural history and build a much-needed park. I'd like to give you 4 reasons why I am opposed to this charter school relocation. Number 1, there are 12 existing elementary schools in North Hills, a town of 5 square miles. The neighborhood does not need another school. My son attends Carlos Santana Arts Academy, where he is in a dual language program, learning to read and write in both English and Spanish. It's a regular public school that was built only 9 years ago when more classrooms were needed. If Valor Academy moves closer and grows bigger, Santana's enrollment will shrink as a result. Consequently, Santana will have to lay off teachers, combine multiple grades into single classrooms, and will have more empty classrooms. We do not need schools fighting over a shrinking number of students. We need to invest in the schools we've already built with taxpayer dollars, and we need you to look at the big picture, because this charter school is not. Number 2, traffic is already gridlocked during school drop-off and pickup hours on Plummer Street. Valor Academy will be half a block away from Sepulveda Middle School and Carlos Santana, creating a traffic nightmare. Santana parents will be tempted to avoid Plummer Street and instead approach Santana from the south, dropping their children on the wrong side of Columbus or making a U-turn where there's a blind curve. There will be car accidents and someone may hit a pedestrian. Number 3, building a new school on Plummer Street is not the best use of this this property, the oldest house in North Hills. The house was built in 1914 and has been identified as a historic resource and is being considered to become LA's newest historic cultural monument. This community group, the North Hills Preservation Consortium, want to restore the house and create a museum featuring the farming legacy of the San Fernando Valley. They want to create a new open space for the entire community, and the Valor plan will not restore the house and it will not be open to the public. They will build upon some of the last open space available in North Hills. And number 4, the neighborhood is in need of open space. A needs assessment was conducted by LA County. In Mission Hills, Panorama City, North Hills, they have an average of a half a park acre per 1,000, while the LA County average is 3.3 acres per 1,000.
Thank you for your time,
The
Dr.
need
Heller.
for
We
park-
appreciate your time. Thank you very much for your comment. Dr. Amber Marie Irving, are you on the line? Dr. Irving. Channing Martinez, are you on the line? Mr. Martinez, if you're on the line, press star 6. You're not there. Frank Rodriguez, are you here in person? Frank Rodriguez. Mario Presence, are you here in person? Meg Martinez, are you here in person? Meg. Estelle, are you here in person? Sylvester Ani, are you on the line? Sylvester Ani? No Sylvester. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I will try. Joy Roybal Castle, are you here? Joy?
I'm on the line.
Oh, there you are. You have 3 minutes. Thank you.
Hello, good morning, everybody. My name is Jue Roybal Castle. My traditional name is Oyate Wiwa. I'm calling you from Tongva Gabrielino Quiche territory right now, known as Los Angeles. I'm with the California Native Vote Project. I'm a community organizer. I'm a parent of a student in LAUSD. I'm also an LAUSD alumni. I'm actually calling this morning to ask the board and Superintendent Caravallo to not implement any safety plans. No safety plan should be released without community engagement. And so I'm calling to please put that on the record, that we need to be involved in these conversations. The other thing is I'm calling in solidarity with BSAP also, the Black Students Achievement Plan. And there are some monies that are owed to them, I believe 40 and 20K, if I'm not mistaken. So I just want to, advocate for them and the students that are involved in that program and say that these are things that our students need, as well as also advocate for the 10 million. I'm sorry, I'm lowballing us over here. It's 40 million and 20 million for the BSAP program. And within the Native American, American Indian, Indigenous community, it's 10. So I do want to advocate for that and wish you all a great day. Thank you. Oh, if I could say one more thing also, the link to the agenda that y'all provided for folks to call in this morning is broken. So therefore, a lot of folks don't have the meeting ID number in order to get in. So I just wanted to drop that. That's why a lot of folks are not on this call. So have a great morning.
Thank you for your time. Chelly, are you on the line? Chelly, if you are, press *6 to unmute yourself. Okay, we're going to go back to Rosemary Zayas. Are you there, Rosemary? Please press *6 to unmute yourself, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak once you begin.
Hello, my name is Rosemary Zayas. I am the Southeast LA community or youth organizer with Communities for a Better Environment. I'm also just someone who has a lot of relatives who go to LAUSD campuses, have also gone to one myself. But part of why I'm calling is because I also want to uplift the fact that we should fully implement BSAP, especially safe passages and community-based safety programs. I do also want to mention what was previously just talked about, but working with us to develop a plan for the 40 million unspent BSAP funds from last year and the 20 million added this year. I also think we shouldn't release any safety plan that doesn't include community engagement. I think it's really important that we are checking in with those who are most impacted on what we think solutions can look like and what we think getting involved should look like, especially when past safety policies like willful defiance, random searches, pepper spray, and more criminalized and abused students, like they have shared that. So we want to make sure when we talk about safety, that really is safety. And yeah, I also just want to make sure folks know we are standing in solidarity with Students Deserve and their police-free LAUSD work. I think in the end, we just want to make sure that we are protecting both Black and Brown students and just the ongoing cumulative impacts that are impacting them beyond just being a student, but also perhaps workers or siblings and community members. That's all I had to share today. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. As a note, I checked both the links from the website, and they both appear to be operational. So if you were unable to get on, please check that link again in the next minute. That looks like it concludes our period for public comment, unless there are any other callers on the line. Okay, Sylvester Ani, if you're on the line. Sylvester Ani, press *6 to unmute yourself, and you will have 3 minutes to speak once you begin.
Hello?
Hi, we can hear you.
Good morning. My name is Sylvester Andy Jr. I was calling to make public comment.
Yes, sir, you're good to go. You have 3 minutes to make your comment.
Okay, thank you. The reason why I was calling this morning is to speak about fully implementing BSAP, the BSAP program. I mean, we're already seeing gains and success stories, and children really just feeling centered and loved with what's been done so far. And the best way to show that this program is working and it needs to be something that's funded further is to fully implement the plan that we have already in place. And even, specifically the community-based safe passage and violence prevention that has not yet been touched, because that's part of the whole goal here, is that understanding that students keep each other safe, community members, parents keep each other safe, and moving towards a police-free LAUSD that really shifts away from harm and violence that can come from not having enough resources being invested into creating the types of environments that create less incentive to commit harm onto your neighbor. So that's one of the points I wanted to touch on. Another thing is that there's been millions and millions of dollars that have gone unspent in BSAP. And what I'm, speaking to the board about today is that what can we do as a community? How much more can we get involved so that this doesn't occur? Because we also need to show the public, we also need to show the parents that all this money that's being allocated to BSAP is going towards something. And when they find out that money is being unspent in the millions, questions start to raise. And then they start questioning the organizers who are trying to implement it, who need that co-facilitation and that collaboration to be able to, spend those funds where they need to be spent, fund the community members who are doing the work, and then bring this vision into fruition. And lastly, for the superintendent, in discussing a new safety plan, speaking as a member of the community, it's super important that we have the individuals, students who are most closely impacted, centered in terms of the process, in terms of the implementation, in terms of the overall outcome, so that we're not continuing the perpetuation and harm of students with suspensions that take kids out of school. When we're talking about we need to invest more in learning and education, we don't want to take kids out of school. The ticketing that can come, that can just compound the issues that folks are dealing with poverty. So we definitely want to center those students in any type of safety plan. We want to center the parents in any type of safety plan, and we want to center the community in any type of safety plan going forward that's absent of pepper spraying the students or absent of the police department within the school district receiving any military grade style weapons as well.
Thank you for your time, sir. Thank
all.
you for your public comment. Have a good day. Mr. Channing Martinez, I see you're on the line. Please press *6 to unmute yourself, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak once you begin. Mr. Channing Martinez.
Good morning. This is Channing Martinez. I'll start with a point of order that on the website there's a Zoom meeting ID that has a typo. So I had to go through and search for the correct meeting ID to join the meeting. Just so you know that. So I'm Channing Martinez, Director of Organizing at the Strategy Center. I work with students at Augustus Hawkins High School, Roosevelt High School, and others. In that much of the money for BSAP has not been spent on safe passages, we were shocked to see that there was a RFI submitted by the Department of Defense. And I totally understand the whole concept of cone of silence, but we have not heard from most board members on the role that the Department of Defense is playing inside of LAUSD in general, and why they are actually applying to any program within the BSAP program. I think that it's our opinion that the Department of Defense has no role or should not have any role inside of schools. And in fact, in talking to board member Tanya Ortiz Franklin, I think we both came to the agreement that the STAR-based program, which is the program that applied or sent their RFI to the BSAP, is just the tip of the iceberg, and that LAUSD has hundreds and almost thousands of recruiting programs and different programs with the Department of Defense. That's ultimately sending our students, over to other countries, many of the countries where their families are from, to bomb those countries and destabilize those countries. And I don't think that is the role that we want for any LAUSD student. So here's the request. We would like some more information on whether the RFI for STAR-based program has been accepted, and we want to advocate that they not be accepted. Number two, we would like to know and start coming up with an inventory of what are all of the different connections with the Department of Defense, and how, so that we can learn how unproductive they are and figure out how to phase out the relationship with the Department of Defense. Again, we just think that, in looking at what the military does around the world, these are not the lessons that I think that we want to bring into our students. And in speaking to students and looking at the history of the U.S. military, they themselves are shocked that LAUSD once had a relationship with the Department of Defense where they had a tank, 3 grenade launchers, and 61 M16 assault rifles. And they agree that there is no place in schools for the military. We'd like to hear from you. We've sent you an email, official letter. We'd like to hear back from you and work with you on figuring out what is the inventory of all of these programs. Thanks so much.
Thank you for your time. Seeing no other public speakers on the phone at this time, this concludes public speaking. We will now recess into closed session. Mr. Tokovsky, I don't have you signed up for the 9 a.m. meeting. What item will you be speaking to? Mr. Tokovsky, I have a list of 15 here, and I don't see you on there. Do you want to speak to some other item for 3 minutes under one of the tabs? Yeah, let's do that. You have 3 minutes once you begin. Thank you.
And congratulations to the superintendent for finishing up your third trimester, along with others who are finishing their third trimester. There's been a lot of energy from this board and superintendent, and a lot of fertile thinking about student learning. And so I congratulate you at that point. I would also like to offer that anybody within the contract who would like to let the superintendent and HR know that they'd like to work for 12 hours and help out students in their learning, I volunteer myself. I have a number of topics. I think 12 hours of learning is quite a bit of time that can be done with kids, from interesting topics that they don't get in the regular school year, astronomy, comparative religion, perfect time of year to be teaching that, the Constitution itself, always a good topic, geography, as well as the math and English that is exciting and re-engaging them to schools. I think the HR group could be a lot more creative in finding ways of getting people in this difficult situation. There still remain a lot of vacancies out there. Mr. Superintendent, you've done a great job in pushing to close those down, but like the Williams, very often the information that comes up is not as accurate as it's presented. So there are textbooks and curricular material shortages. This is a great dry run, these 12 hours, to get summer school in order. I've just been recruited to teach summer school at another institution. We often wait to the very end to get our summer schools together, and then we have to push hard to get the enrollment and the attendance. Let's put a great summer together now. Let's fix the special ed. I encourage everyone to watch the special ed committee. Mr. Schmerlson last time was very invigorating and thoughtful. Summer school for special needs students has been the same cookie cutter for the last 30 years. given the pressures that are on General Counsel and the board to do something and discuss special ed in closed session and the U.S. Department of Ed's pressures. As you reorganize, it would be good to bring special ed and instruction not as two segregated pieces, but at least dotted lines and coherent lines. Same thing with career tech education, which passed disproportionately from adult division to the senior high. Congratulations to districts around the county and the state for passing their school bonds, and hopefully you'll be moving that way as well. The governor is finalizing his state budget right now. While revenues can be tough, it's important that we put specific large items on the governor's list. And finally, two topics I talk about very often, safety, and we've been very lucky that things have been reduced, but bad times could happen. Let's get that safety plan out. And affiliated charters is the significant way to increase enrollment in this district, and we need to really get that moving. Thank you for your good work, and thank you, Mr. McLean.
Thank you for time. And with that, ultimately concludes public comment for today. We'll now recess into closed session. It's 9:41 a.m. Thank you.